It's great to see that things are evolving, and now that people in universities start to realize, okay, we actually need to work on that and make sure that we train people at the intersection. But at the moment, with people that you meet both in your company or in the companies that you work with, do you feel that there is a bit of friction between the tech approach and the biology approach, or everything is going perfect?
First of all, most of the scientists here on the team that are on the research side come from the intersection. So they're scientists that know both, are very good biologists and very good AI engineers. On the research side, we're very, very strongly focused on folks that come from both areas. As a discipline, I think that the frustrations from artificial intelligence, machine learning at large within the biological realm come from the lack of quality data. Now, if you had someone who's working on natural language processing or computer vision or audio, where there's an abundance of quality data, and that's kind of the main constraints of modeling, and put them to work on biological data, then the frustration is very hard.
So what do you think is the real bottleneck? Is it the understanding of biology, the data, the model? Is it that as you said, that we are maybe too naive sometimes when looking at biology, because it's not black or white, and sometimes biological properties happen at different levels. So you need to generate data from multiple type of experiment, and then at some point it becomes way too complex for the human brain just to reconcile everything, and you need to have good models. So at least that's how I'm looking at it.
Yeah.
And it's a mix of, we don't necessarily have the right data, and then, not necessarily also the right way of looking at those data together. What's your take on that?
In general, in any modeling problem, then the three core bottlenecks that you can think of are data, model architectures, and computational infrastructure.
More high throughput labs or autonomous labs. So we've seen that, in the past few years, where I think what you said, is widely recognized. When you're living in a certain bubble on LinkedIn where everyone is talking about the same thing, but where people are like, well, we need more quality data, and we need to produce that at a higher pace and cheaper. So you start to see, a bunch of companies that are creating those robotic labs to accelerate the production of quality data. How do you look at that?
Yeah, so we're very strongly interacting with that, with those kinds of companies. I believe it's a massive enabler of companies like ours and the industry at large, of frontier AI. And if I'm a VC investor, that's an area that I would suggest investing in. There's going to be massive demand. They're opening a great bottleneck in creating faster data and cheaper data. So companies that have ways to create data faster and cheaper are very, very interesting. And we collaborate with a handful of them to train our models.
What are the AI model that works today? What are the limitations of what we are using today? What are the emerging models that you get really excited about?
I'll say, as a principle, we have no thesis that one model architecture is better than the other. So we use language models, we use diffusion models, we use traditional deep learning models, we use traditional machine learning models when simplistic questions can be handled. And you don't need the strong firepower of large models. For me, on a personal level, I use traditional machine learning methods and a little bit of artificial intelligence of deep neural networks in my research. Way back when, but it was very inferior systems to what we're capable of doing today. And I wanted to build the systems that I wanted to use as a scientist, and really happy to do this in our organization.